Welcome to the Engineering, Emotions, and Energy Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Wink, coming to you live from my backyard on a beautiful sunny Friday. And today is a very special theme. It is Celebration Day. That's right. We are celebrating 100 likes, followers on the Emotions Engineering Facebook page. And I am also celebrating that I have finally paid off all that I owe on my kitchen remodel that I believe was back in 2018 was when decided to do the kitchen remodel. And now, about 2 years later, it's finally all paid off. I still remember when I think it was practically a door-to-door salesman. Oh no, actually it was, we were in Home Depot and came across somebody and they're like, hey, what do you think about doing a kitchen remodel? And we were like, I mean, something we'd do someday. And they're like, well, what if we just send somebody over? They sent somebody over and, in about 2 hours, we decided everything we wanted to do in the kitchen. We're like, all right, 0% financing and did it. But what I wasn't considering is how that would impact me emotionally and how that would impact my feeling of having freedom and choosing to do what I want to do with my life. Now, I know with the COVID-19 lockdown, there's been a lot of these shelter-in-place directives. They're impinging my freedom, But what I'd really like to ask you is, were you actually free even when you were allowed to leave your house and go wherever? Or were you doing what other people told you wanted to do? So case in point, if you've ever traveled out of country, you might notice that there are some things where you can actually do a whole lot more in some other countries than you can do here. No, I'm not talking about that one district in Thailand in Bangkok. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about simple little things like dangerous fun. I remember, I think it was a few years ago, was in Bali, and they had basically, we were staying at the beach and there's a beautiful pool, but they have these, guys always trying to sell stuff, like at a lot of beach places. But one of the cool things that they were selling was a ride on, I think it was called the Flying Fish. And so what it is it's this, maybe of like, tubing behind a motorboat, like in a lake or in a river or something. This is like that times 100, because basically it's a tube that's got some wings on it, and it ends up, the boat goes and it gets you going about, I don't know, probably 50 feet into the air at least. And so the only thing keeping you balanced is the worker. Basically, he uses his body weight to go back and forth to balance it off the wind. Otherwise, the whole thing can just flip over and dump you that 50 feet. And it was turned out to be disturbingly shallow water that the boat's flying around probably at 40 miles an hour. But it was so much fun. And you would never be allowed to do something like that in the U.S. because it's dangerous. There's like probably a huge high percentage chance that you are going to fall off that thing, but it is so much fun. And to me, that little like, hey, let's have some freedom to have some dangerous fun. You can only find that in other parts of the world. And so sometimes a lot of this, well, I want my freedom. Like, but what do you really want to be free to do? And that's one of the things that this podcast is all about, is engineering your emotions and your energy so that, for me, I want to be able to have the freedom to do what I actually want to do, not just live somebody else's dream. Somebody else's dream was go get that engineering job, go get an expensive house, go basically get in debt so that I have to keep working. Because that's really what hit me looking back at signing the paperwork to do that kitchen remodel. Was I was not just signing up to have my kitchen remodeled, I was signing up for a lot of pressure to continue working at the job I was working, because I had to pay that fucking money back. And it took, about 2 years. But a year ago, I decided, you know what? Never again. Because one of the things that's really important is to look back at your life and notice patterns. And I noticed this pattern of never really feeling like I had enough money, even though if I objectively look back comparing, 20 years ago when I first got out of high school to where I'm at now, I'm making significantly more money now than I was then. But I still don't feel like I'm, secure and well off. Part of that is the escalation of expenses and getting into that debt and just kind of getting into that cycle of, well, I'm not super happy, but maybe if I get this thing, maybe if I have this object, maybe if I do this activity, that will make me happy. And a lot of the great thinkers, those that tell us, how to live our lives, they often say happiness is an inside job. It's not something that you can just buy or purchase. Really, it's something that you got to work from within. And God damn it, they're fucking right, because it ends up being so true. And the thing that's disappointing about that is that really no one else can do that work but, you for yourself and me for myself. And so a year ago, I decided, all right, I am now going to make a plan so that I can be free, financially free. And I define that because a lot of people, they say that, but they don't actually define what that is. They're like, someday I'll get there. Someday never comes. And these are often people that have like way more money than you and I will probably ever see in our lifetimes. But they never actually put a concrete stake in the ground of what it actually means to be free. So I define it as debt free, and I have 1 year saved up in cash of living expenses. And I'm like, that's freedom right there. That means I'm then always choosing to do what I want. Because if I don't like what I'm doing, I can always just say, I'm out of here. Because 1 year, I'm smart, I'm brilliant, I can figure it out, right? So today, I officially am debt free. So again, that is why today is Celebration Day. I love sound effects. I just used to love the sound effects on the Howard Stern show and the Adam Carolla podcast. They do sound effects. So I was like, all right, I can at least do one sound effect. So we're celebrating that. We're celebrating 100 followers on Emotions Engineering Facebook page. So it's at Emotions Engineering. You can find us. So please follow the page. I'd like to know, what does freedom actually mean to you? And what's something that you could be celebrating? Like, I know it's a lot more challenging to celebrate these times, but what's something that maybe you've done that you could find some way to celebrate? Maybe it's you celebrate just by wearing a Hawaiian shirt, or, having something good to eat that, maybe you've been saving. So follow us on Facebook, chat us up, and we got more great things coming. So make sure you subscribe to this podcast to hear, and follow us on Facebook, because I got some great things coming. So thank you and have a great day.